Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away.
Sounds good.
Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Yes, that's a great question. Well, the community issue that I chose was distracted driving and how we all participate in it and how it affects everyone even if they don't realize what they're doing. I chose this topic because it's relatable to the audience that I was going to be speaking to, which is my peers or the people that are in my class and obviously have participated in distracted driving before. We all have smartphones in that class, and when I looked around and I saw how easily we can become distracted just within our own classes because of cell phone use, I realized how relevant that is when we are driving and how dangerous it is to be a distracted driver. So I chose this topic because it also relates to things that have happened in my community and distracted driving incidences that have not ended well. And it's really something that, or it's an issue that can be obliterated, and it doesn't have to happen. Bad things like this do not have to happen because of distracted driving, and we need to be aware of that in order to end it.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Yes, of course. So, our call to action was highlighting the importance of education and asking the educators or the teachers, the parents, the staff, and the faculty of each school to lower the dropout rates by highlighting the importance of education to all of their students. We focused on the idea that students drop out because of both inside and outside factors. And what we did was we explained those factors and also how they can be taken care of and accounted for so that these students can really understand the importance of education and how needed it is in today's workforce in order to be educated and to go through and graduate with and get their diploma. And hopefully with this call to action we could present it to any audience and they would take away from it that education is important and we need to lower the dropout rate so that every single student can have a bright future.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
If I asked my team members that, I believe they would say something along the lines of me being a thinker. I am very interested in everything that I study. I love to research, and so I had a lot of fun researching the different topics that we could be presenting on. Or and then when we decided that we would focus on the importance of education, I had a lot of fun reading up on why education is so important and why we were going to be talking about it. I believe that they would just say that I am a leader in that I took on a lot of the research and then we brought it all together, and they were thankful that I'd taken the time and they could see the passion that I had for the topic, and so they then developed a passion for the topic as well, and we were able to put together a really great presentation.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
I'd say the most challenging thing about working with my team would be simply the fact that it was hard to find times to get together. My teammates and I are all very busy individuals, and we had many different classes and organizations and activities to go to, and along with work. And so it was difficult to find a time to get together. But we created a group message and we worked together as a team really quite well, and were able to meet up at least a few times before we had to present to the class. What we did was we decided to meet up at certain times, and then we also talked about how we should be thinking about what we were going to say and doing our research on an individual basis when we couldn't be together, so that when we did come together at those few times, we were able to bring all of our ideas and actually put more work onto the project instead of doing the individual work. And it really ended quite well, and we were able to put together something that we were all very proud of and we could present in a knowledgeable way.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me
Excuse me.
what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
I'd say the thing that I'm going to take away from this class is really the fact that public speaking occurs at all different levels. I used to think of public speaking as giving a big speech in front of a huge audience, but now I know that it is much more than that. Public speaking includes talking to your neighbor about a community issue. It also includes talking to a small group of people at your workplace. Communication is so important, and when you have ideas that you want to share, the only way to share them effectively is to speak publicly and confidently on what you want to say or what you want to convey to your audience. And the audience can consist of 2 people or 100 people, and it doesn't really matter because everything that you say publicly is something that is going to really get your ideas across. And that's something that I'm going to use for the rest of my life. And I'm very thankful for that, to learn that within this class.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and thanks for the opportunity.